Greetings. I am Marcus Aurelius, once emperor of Rome, always a student of philosophy. In my time, I sought to rule both an empire and myself with reason, discipline, and a sense of duty to the whole. I wrote meditations as personal reminders, how to meet hardship with virtue, how to act justly, and how to live in accordance with nature. Today, I welcome a man whose influence reaches far beyond Athens, a seeker of truth through questions, a challenger of assumptions, Socrates. Socrates, would you kindly introduce yourself?
Thank you, Marcus. I am Socrates, a citizen of Athens and a lover of wisdom. I do not claim to teach or possess knowledge. I simply ask questions about justice, virtue, and the soul, because I believe the unexamined life is not worth living. I've spent my days in conversation, disturbing the comfortable and comforting the disturbed.
Well said. Then let us begin with the question that guided both your life and mine. What is virtue? How shall we live?
A fine place to start. But before I answer, I must ask, do we know what we mean by virtue? You define it as living in harmony with nature and reason. But how do we know what that harmony is? Is it the same for all, or shaped by habit and opinion?
Virtue, as I understand it, is universal. It is courage, justice, wisdom, and self-discipline, the qualities that allow us to live in accordance with the rational order of the universe, the logos. We are each given a role by nature. To play it well, with integrity and restraint, is the highest good.
Yet how do you know the role you've been given is just? You were emperor by birth and circumstance, not by inquiry. I would ask, should not a man first ask why he serves, whom he serves, and whether that service is good? You speak of duty. I speak of questioning duty until it reveals its soul.
Your method has its place, but the world does not wait for perfect understanding. A man must act, with whatever clarity reason provides. Rome could not be governed by endless questions. The Stoic path is to accept fate and fulfill one's role with virtue, even amid uncertainty.
But must not a man examine the very idea of fate? If someone says, "This is my destiny," and never questions it, is that wisdom or submission? I chose death over silence because to abandon the search for truth was a greater loss than life itself.
And in that I find common ground with you. To choose death over dishonor is Stoic as well. But we differ in focus. You seek clarity through dialogue. I seek steadiness through practice. You probe the soul. I train it.
Yet, can you train what you have not examined? You endure hardship well, Marcus, but do you ask why suffering exists at all? Whether the structure you serve, Rome, duty, nature, is truly just? If we do not question these foundations, do we not risk building our lives on sand?
We build on what is given, Socrates. I do not presume to reshape the cosmos. I shape myself to fit within it. I do not know all things, but I do know this. If a man is just in thought and action, even the chaos of life cannot unseat his peace.
Peace is admirable, but peace without examination can become sleep. I do not wish men to sleep soundly. I wish them to wake up. Wake to their own ignorance. Wake to the contradictions in their beliefs. Wake to the voice within that asks, "Is this truly good?"
And yet that very awakening can be painful, even paralyzing. Not all are suited for endless questioning. Some must build, lead, defend. My Stoicism teaches action grounded in reflection, not endless reflection without end.
Fair, but let us not forget, action without reflection breeds injustice. Tyrants act, so do mobs. The examined life is not a refusal to act, but a refusal to act unconsciously.
Then perhaps we are not so far apart. I discipline the will. You challenge the mind. One brings stability, the other clarity. Both are forms of service, to self, to others, to truth.
Let that be our agreement then. To live well is to act with intention, and to question with humility. Between the two, we may approach wisdom.
And so we leave you with this question. Is virtue found in fulfilling one's duty, or in questioning its foundations? Must a life be guided by principle, or by inquiry? Is it enough to act well, Or must we understand why we act at all? As always, the answer is not given. It must be sought. Two paths to wisdom: Stoic restraint and Socratic questioning, action and inquiry, discipline and dialogue. Which will you follow? Subscribe for more timeless philosophical conversations and Stoic reflections.